Cowboys Nation. How the hell y'all feeling right now?
Yo, this is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? You know it's getting ever so close to that Sunday, and you know we got Kelly back in the house. We're kicking this thing off on Wednesday night. We got lots to talk about. We got a division championship, which, understand this, when we win it, we're not going to go putting a banner up on our stadium, anything like that, like the Eagles or these other teams do. But when we win that division championship, it's going to seal the deal for that second seed. We're going to get this thing rolling. So hopefully you guys are doing good. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, all that stuff, because I forget to repeat it. But Kelly, what's up, my man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. What's up to everybody in the chat? Fred, Edgar, Vince, everybody popping off real quick. We're filling this chat up real quick. I'm feeling good, real good, man. I mean, I had a great holiday vacation. I was down in Texas. I enjoyed all the great food and all the amenities that Texas has to offer. I enjoyed a hell of a win. Didn't let nobody shit on my parade, regardless of what people wanted to say after that game was over, because it was a great game to be in attendance for. CeeDee Lamb breaking records, Jimmy in the Ring of Honor,
you win for the Dallas. You were on the field. I saw a video.
Me and Fred, we were down on the field cutting it up with Mike Irvin. We were over there just, chucking it up with them boys, man, So, yeah, no, man, it was a great time. I had a great, the vacation was great. And then, on my way home, driving home, or not driving home, but driving to my nephew's house, I got another treat because the Eagles lost, and they continued to take the division away. So it's just like, I mean, it was one thing after. I felt like Christmas came a week late, is what I felt like. Yeah. You know what? Santa Claus, better late than never. And thank you for the Christmas gifts. I'd done something right. We must have done something right. We didn't get coal in our stock.
It's Stephen A. I saw something where he said something, and Michael Irvin, and maybe the stars are aligning. Maybe that curse might have been true, because you saw what happened when he went in the Ring of Honor. Strange things happened late in that game, and then even stranger things, we kind of thought Philly was kind of on the ropes, but they were up big. It wasn't like it was a dogfight. Philly had the game
21-6. Yeah, 21-6 at halftime, man. You're sitting there and you're watching that, and you're thinking to yourself, you're like, okay, it's 21-6. Philly's about to dog roll these dudes, like, oh, man, well, there goes that. I thought that they did. I'll have to hope on the Giants the following. Next thing I know, it's a tie ball game at 21-21, and I'm sitting there watching Philadelphia do what they've done for the last 5 weeks, and that's just choke away a lead and not be able to stop anything. I swear to God, they couldn't cover a wide receiver if they was an 85-year-old woman and they had a quilt. But it's just funny to watch these Eagles implode and collapse, and even funnier to watch the reactions on Twitter and social media and just everything, man. And it turns out that even on Wednesday, you still got Detroit players crying about this damn game that can't get over the game and the results of the game. So,
well, the coach came out and he admitted what he was trying to do. He was trying to fool the defense. He was trying to put one over on them, sending a few different guys out, saying this one's checked in, and we were at the game. We clearly heard 70s reporting. We didn't hear anything else. Our defense kind of played towards that. So that's, they could cry about it, but he admitted, and that's fine, man. That's gamesmanship. You tried to make it work out. It didn't work, and then you go try and do it again. You try and go for it again instead of go for the tie.
Three freaking times.
And then we jump off sides, give them another break, and they still do it. So they had all their opportunities. no one brings up the tripping. I brought that up to someone, and you know what their answer was? That was a judgment call. That, those calls get missed, and they're trying to justify that as not being, you can't offset one for the other, which obviously, we don't. I mean, I don't care. I mean, it is what it is.
Man.
Cowboys, people say that we didn't. Cowboys walked out with the W. That's all I know. We got to win. We got to win.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's my thing, man, and I keep saying this shit. I keep saying it to people. If the Cowboys would have lost that game, right? They announced 70 as being eligible over the loudspeaker. Everybody in AT&T heard it. Dan Campbell, Michael, we all heard it, right? So if they wouldn't have made that call and we would have lost, and we're all sitting there going, what the hell? They said 70 was eligible and 68 caught it, right? Nobody would have felt sorry for the Cowboys. Nobody would have felt sorry for the Cowboys.
Quit whining.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd have been like, quit whining. You should have done something more to win the game. It shouldn't have come down to a last play. But those double standards, they only happen to apply to Dallas Cowboys fans and Dallas Cowboys content creators and Dallas Cowboys media and players. Like, obviously, if it happens to us, we just got to suck it up. But when it happens to the Lions, the whole world wants to cry for the Detroit Lions. Miss me with that shit.
No.
It's the NFL, man. Officiating's been terrible this year, but you know what? Shit, like you said, shouldn't even come down to that. The tripping call, the phantom tripping call that they got called on us when it was clearly Hutchinson that did it. That would have negated the whole thing.
It wouldn't have mattered.
It would have never even been in. We could have put that game to bed.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
Kelly, I got to ask you for 5 minutes. We got a super chat from Cuts by Jones. So I need you to, we got to watch the language. We got a young lady watching the show. Want to give a little shout out to Kimmy. She's a big CeeDee Lamb fan. Ain't nothing wrong with being a CeeDee Lamb fan this year. He's proven himself to be the top receiver in the NFL. And obviously, K9's representing CeeDee Lamb. We all love CeeDee Lamb. So, Kimmy, we appreciate the love and support to the channel. Thanks for the super chat. Cuts by Jones. You guys know if you need a cut, you better be going to Jones. And I know Greg. I think Greg reached out to Fred today. He's going to get a couple cuts. And you guys are missing out if you ain't getting it done.
Absolutely. And hey, Kimmy, how you doing? I know I was just there. I was just there at the Jones Z bar. I actually got to see her the other day and say hi to her. If you haven't had one today, and if your dad's allowing it, tell him to go ahead and pop you one of them cold Coca-Colas that I know you like so much. So how you doing? And let's go Cowboys. I know you're a big Cowboys fan, so we about to wrap this division up as we take on the Commanders this weekend.
Yeah.
So let's go Cowboys.
And we're going to get into Commanders. I will say this, Kelly and I, we talked. I don't usually do this, but I got to admit it. Now, first of all, as I preface this, we better win on Sunday. If we don't, I know you got a lot of trouble coming for you, and I'm sure I do too. But I listened to Eagle Radio today I had a tough day, morning at work. I need some comic relief. And I listened on the Odyssey app, and I highly recommend it. They are falling apart. The fans are crumbling. They want the coach gone. They want everyone gone. Jalen Hurts, remember he was the savior? Remember he was the golden child? They can't stand him. They want him gone. They want everyone gone. And they want the general manager gone.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny, man. It's funny because, you sit there and you watch this and you watch the collapse of the Philadelphia Eagles that seemed like 5 weeks ago, the division was a wrap. Philly had it all wrapped up. Jalen Hurts was, they were doing great. They were winning, had nothing to do with luck. It was all the talent and the grit by this team, had nothing to do with luck. But, since those 5 weeks, AJ Brown has 0 touchdowns, 0 in 5 weeks, man. And Jalen Hurts, he's sitting over there. He's got, last 5 games, he's got a measly 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Dak Prescott, meanwhile, has 9 TDs and only 2 interceptions. I mean, it's just funny how the tables have flipped, man. And now you've got the Eagles just imploding, man. Because here's the thing, man. They talked all that smack. And I've got receipts like Walmart, like a Walmart customer service. I've got receipts of all the smack that they talked.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I swear to God, I feel like these dudes won the Super Bowl in mid-November, and I'm sitting there going, wait a second, there's still a lot of football to play. And they're like, well, yeah, we'd have to do this for you guys to lose. Ain't no way. It's almost mathematically impossible. Well, funny how math works. Look at y'all now. And like me and Mike was talking about it before the show, strange things are happening when Jimmy, Jimmy sits there and gets the ring of honor, and then all of a sudden we get something that kind of goes our way. And is this a sign of things to come? Is this like an omen of things to come? Because, we're not used to getting those kind of things happening to us. It's usually us on the opposite end of the spectrum. And this time we was on the right end of the spectrum. And I'm not going to bitch about it. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to say thank you.
We say thank you. And if you're in here, make sure you hit that like. That'll thank us. You want to thank us by hitting that like, hit that subscribe. And we appreciate it, man. It's been fun. But like I said, it's a long year. Crazy things happen. I always said you just got to keep winning. And the thing I'll say is not to call me Nostradamus or an expert, but you and I did our our pregame, check the box, win and losses, and I had us 11-5 right now, and I think we're going to win. I had us win in Washington, so that puts us at 12-5, exactly where I thought we were going to be. So now we bring on the Commanders. Now this is a game. Obviously, Washington is really fighting to maintain that second seed and their second draft pick. So there's got to be thoughts if you're ownership in that. I mean, do they really want to win this game? Because they need a quarterback. If you got the second pick, you're kind of guaranteeing yourself one of the top quarterbacks. So you wonder what they're going to play for. But it's like, Greg and I, we did a show last night. Jimmy's still on vacation, or he's still moaning over the Falcons. I don't know which one it is, but these guys, I mean, we all played sports. I mean, there's a level of pride. I mean, I gave the story, I wrestled in high school, and sometimes you're going up against a 2-time state champion and you're a first-time wrestler. You're getting your ass whooped, but you got to go out there and you got to give it your all. And these guys are professionals. They're not amateur scrubs like I was. So these guys have the ability to win. The Cowboys cannot sleep on it. The Cowboys can't be thinking ahead. The Cowboys can't be doing this. They got to go in with that mentality of, we are going to just dog walk you early, and then you can cruise to the finish. But they got to jump on them early to give them no life, because I think if they do that, I think Washington packs it in. What's your thoughts going into this game and the mindset of the team?
Look, outside of the Arizona game, we have crushed teams that are not on our level, right? Crushed teams. I'm not scared of the Commanders, not even in the slightest. And I don't want to sit there and try to be cocky, because I know it's any given Sunday. I know it's a division rival. I know they would love to spoil our chances of winning the NFC East, because let's not act like that's not a thing for the Washington Commanders. Let's not act like that their coaches are saying, hey, these dudes are rolling in here. They think we're pushovers. They think they've got this NFC East division wrapped up. Let's show them we still got pride. Guarantee you that's the message in Washington this entire week. Now, let's just hope that Mike McCarthy has got these Cowboys focused and ready to go in there and handle business, because what I'm looking for, man, is a Trey Lance sighting in the fourth quarter, man. Dak Prescott can sit. We can start resting some guys at halftime, because, I think back to last year, last game of the season now. Some people say it didn't really have much meaning to it, but we got our asses smacked.
Yeah.
And by this same Washington team, and by this same Sam Howell, I think it was Sam Howell at quarterback.
Yeah, well, he made his first start. That was his first start.
It was his first start, right? And I remember Mike McCarthy saying that we were going to play all the starters and we were playing to win. Yeah, he said we were playing to win, and it was a horrible effort. And I get it that it didn't have any bearing on the standings. We were locked into the seed that we were locked into. Fine, right? It doesn't make it any less embarrassing that they just handed our asses like they did. So same kind of situation here, except we got a lot more to play for. We got the division on the line, right? So I'm looking for this Cowboys team to come in and dominate, though.
Yeah.
Just absolutely dominate this team and go rolling into the playoffs on a positive note. And, the thing is, you'll get a lot of people that'll say, yeah, it was just the Commanders. It don't matter how good you play. Well, it does, because you want to be in a rhythm. You want to go in on the right foot. And then you want to go into the playoffs with a win. You don't want to go in on a loss.
Absolutely.
And that's what we need to do. Look good, play good.
I think this team feeds off, the energy and the good vibes. And you want to go in there with a winning streak. You want to be feeling good. You don't want that, because you got to turn around. And if you win the game, you're going to be the 2 seed. And you're going to play the 7th seed. And they're going to be coming into your building. And they're the 7th seed is going to feel like they got a gift from God. They made it to the playoffs, and they're going to try and do something about it. And if you lose and you're the 5th seed, Now you're going on the road, and you're going to probably go on the road the whole playoffs. And say what you want, and I know we've had a tough road schedule. I've defended the Cowboys in the road, but they do play different on the road than they do at home. You just look at the numbers, and it's apparent that they do, and we do play much better. The energy, everything feels better at home. So you definitely want to have the home playoff games, and that's so important for this team, and I think more than ever. But everything's kind of lining up. But looking at it, one of the positives we're looking at this game, and it's really CeeDee Lamb. We'll give a shout out to Kimmy again. CeeDee Lamb. We talk about the impact of players, and for so many years we talked about Zeke and the offense, and Jerry Jones would say that the offense runs through Zeke goes as Zeke goes. Is the offense kind of going through CD? We go as CD goes, because he has just been playing on another level, and it's kind of the point where, and we're going to get into the running game a little bit, I wouldn't mind seeing him run the ball a little bit more. But what's your thoughts on CD and just the amazing record-setting season that he's had with the Cowboys so far and the impact?
I mean, him and Dak are on they have a really good connection right now. Probably the best quarterback to wide receiver connection I've seen since Romo and Dez. They just seem to be very in sync. It seems like they're lockstep. Each one, Dak is very comfortable putting the ball right where CD is going to be. CD is there. He's dependable. He's catching. He's running the right routes. I remember sometimes last season, it seems like they were a step off. There was times where CeeDee Lamb might run the wrong route, and he was at a place where Dak thought he was going to be, and that he wasn't quite there. This year, they have really, really come around on that. And I do agree that this offense does go as CeeDee goes. You look back to that Dolphins game, think about it. First quarter, CeeDee Lamb is lighting it up. We're kicking ass. I'm thinking, all right, we got this. We're going. Next thing you know, second and third quarter, they went away from him for whatever reason. Now, I don't know if that was due to, the way that Miami's defense was playing, but I didn't think so, because I kept seeing looks where CeeDee looked open. He was open. So I don't know if that was a play call thing, if it was a Dak thing with confidence, with the pass rush, what it was. But the second, third quarter kind of disappears. Fourth quarter, he comes back, and you're sitting there thinking, man, why'd we ever go away from him? He was killing it that first quarter. So you're right. When CeeDee Lamb is not getting the targets and the touches, the offense starts to look a little flat and starts to kind of falter a little bit. And yes, it would be great to get the run game going, but that run game is just non-existent right now. And, it needs some juice, and we may have some juice possibly on the way to Dallas.
I know the question in the chat, Dustin was asking, and really, I would love to get your guys' opinion on if you get an opportunity to get Dalvin Cook. In Twitter, I didn't, and I don't know if I maybe my words, and I apologize to the person if my words didn't come out right, but so the question I asked is, said, kick the tires with CD, and I got a comment that,
Cook.
Or not Cook, excuse me, but hey, we don't need, gave me a whole big, spiel and not to bring him up for whatever. And I had said, so are you happy with the running game? With a question mark. And then he got offended by that I didn't word it properly or something. So whatever, I apologize. Maybe if I hurt your feelings or offended you, I didn't mean to. But the thing is you're looking at this running game, and you guys tell me, man, in the chat, tell Kelly and I, are you happy? Are you comfortable with this running game going into the playoffs? Are you feeling good about it, that this running game is going to help, propel us into the Super Bowl? Or if you have an opportunity to get a Dalvin Cook, who's 28 years old, let me just remind people, because some people say he's an old man. Christian McCaffrey's 27. Mostert, who has 18 touchdowns in Miami, I think he made the Pro Bowl, is 31. He only had a few carries this year, but understand, he was brought into the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, and this was supposed to be like, get some team, and it just obviously didn't work out. So he had 4 1,000-yard seasons before. He was averaging well over 4 yards a carry in all of those and 5 yards in the one. I mean, is it not worth just taking a look, and if things fall right, you bring him in?
Man, I am all for bringing Dalvin Cook in. Look, man, I was down for bringing Dalvin Cook in from the jump. And when people sit there and they say, I haven't gotten out one good answer on why we should not bring Dalvin Cook in. Because here's the thing. One, He's only got 67 carries the whole season. And they're like, well, yeah, but he's only got 3.2 yards per carry. I said, he's getting an average of 2 to 3 carries per game. How is any running back establish any kind of rhythm with getting that small of volume? The Jets, plain and simple, have not gotten him involved. What do you have to lose? If bringing him in, you don't get any worse. You can't get any worse. I mean, our running game is non-existent right now. We can't do it. We all watched that Dolphins game, and we all watched Pollard had an angle to, or not, Pollard had an angle to the damn pylon.
That had nothing to do with the line, right?
No, that has nothing to do with the line. He has a touchdown. If he goes to the pylon, he cuts it inside, and you're just sitting there going, what in the hell are you doing? Just run it to the pylon. And you can't, I'm sorry, man, you can't tell me Dalvin Cook doesn't score that touchdown. I believe 100% Dalvin Cook scores a touchdown. I don't think he's been given the opportunities with the Jets. He's voiced his displeasure. He wanted out at the trade deadline. There were teams interested at the trade deadline. This team gets no worse by adding Dalvin Cook. You're not going to pay him big money. He's a playoff rental. And if anything, he's going to play hard because he's still young, like you pointed out. He wants to earn a contract for next year. Yeah. So you got a guy who's going to want to show out in the playoffs. And I don't know if anybody remembers, but that Rams game a few years ago, does anybody remember when they brought in C.J. Anderson, the Rams did? Because C.J. Anderson, they brought that dude in off the street for the playoffs. The dude against our defense went for 23 carries for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think Dalvin Cook could bring that kind of punch and that kind of juice to this running game. So absolutely you add Dalvin Cook here. If worse comes to worse, he's like, I mean, you're telling me he's not going to be better than Malik Davis, who hasn't seen the field this year? Deuce Vaughn, who can't get on the field this year? I mean, Rico Dowdle, who's been decent. I'm not gonna shit on Dowdle, but look, guys, our run game is suffering, man. So for anybody that says bringing in Dalvin Cook is a bad thing, you ain't been watching this run game. We need help, plain and simple.
No, absolutely. You need help, and we got to get it. And Bobby, hey, I welcome Eagle fans, and you always are respectful. You have fun with us, and we can banter back and forth. I'm glad you have finally seen a light that your Eagles are trash. You admitted it. That's the first step in the process. That's the first step in the process. And what I might do, I might give you a ticket to jump on the wagon if you want. It's there. You can jump on. Kelly, would you approve that or no? What do you say?
Yeah. We take all misguided fans, even misguided fans. Now, Joe just asked something about. Joe just said, "Do we read these?" And Joe said he won't be better than Rico. He's talking about Dalvin Cook. So let me know when the last time Rico Dowdle had a 1,000-yard season. I'll go ahead and wait on that.
Yeah, I mean,
is Rico Dowdle ever going to get 1,000 yards in a season? No. Dalvin Cook was over 1,100 yards last season. It may have been 1,200 yards. So you're telling me that he fell off that much in one season? He's only got 67 carries, and we're sitting there saying it ain't the backs. It is the backs.
It is. I mean, granted, maybe the offensive line isn't as tight as it used to be, but you watch the runs and you just watch with Pollard. And I like Pollard. Don't get me wrong. I just think that he is a number 2 back, and there's nothing wrong with that. And he's a dynamic number 2 back, but he's need another one. Now, if you want to throw Rico in there and get him more carries, whatever it is. But all I'm saying is, I think a lot of, and again, in the chat, call me crazy, call me stupid, whatever you want. I look at the Detroit game, and I look at the clock management, or, the game management, you want to call it. I think the Cowboys in this season have been put in a position because I don't think they're confident in running the football. So they got to throw it. Yeah. And they feel they got to throw it. And I just think that happens more and more because they seem to be giving up on the run. And it's I could say, look, man, just air it out 50 times, man, and just call it a day. But in the playoffs, when we got the lead against the 49ers, let's say in the championship game, and it's 21-17, and we got to hold that ball for 6 minutes to drain out that clock. Do you got confidence in this offense with the running game that they're going to be able to do it? And if you could get Cook, now this may be a moot point. He may not. Someone may pick him up, or he may go to another team. But if you could get him, why not? I mean, Doesn't hurt anything. Do you put Deuce Vaughn's on IR? We saw that, right? So you pretty much got a banged up Rico. You got Pollard, who's just not looking, consistent. He has flashes, don't get me wrong, but that's what he did well last year. The opportunities he had, he made the big flashes. So I don't know. Malik Davis, do you bring him up? And if you bring him up, he's got to be up permanently. They need to do something with the running game. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but that's the way I feel.
Yeah. No, they need to be able to run the ball. And the thing is, look, we've had the running backs that we've had on this team all season, and this run game has not gotten any better. And I get it. Some of the run blocking and the schemes may not be the greatest, but you cannot tell me. I've seen there are holes that have opened that don't get hit. I have seen opportunities where meat has been left on this bone. And you know what? Maybe he comes in. Maybe we get Dalvin Cook and he comes in and I'm proven wrong and he doesn't do anything. But again, what do you got to lose? You ain't paying this dude a big contract. If nothing else, you get the dude in here and you see what he's got. And if he got no juice, you didn't lose nothing because you got no juice to begin with. So you're talking. I mean, it's like sitting here telling me, hey man, I want to cook you some breakfast, but I got no food, so I probably shouldn't go buy them eggs because maybe them eggs ain't gonna taste no good. Well, what harm is it gonna do? You ain't got nothing to eat anyway right now. Bring them eggs in here. Let me cook them eggs. I don't care if they're a couple days past that expiration date. I'm gonna eat them eggs up. It don't make no sense. Bring them in.
This isn't. Listen, let's just think about this logically as Cowboy fan. And if it isn't Cook, whoever, we have an opportunity. I mean, we win Wednesday. Let's think about. We are going to be the number 2 seed in the NFC. That gives you 2 home games, guaranteed 2 home games. Yep. All it takes is a team, San Francisco, to slip up once. You can end up with 3 home games. I don't know if that'll happen.
Host the NFC Championship.
And you can host it. So this is what we call all in. You don't leave anyone behind. You bring whatever you can get. And you saw the Cowboys, they got La'el Collins. I don't think that's going to change the balance of power. But God forbid we get a lineman hurt. At least we got someone with some experience. At least we got someone who knows some of the linemen, knows the offense, familiar with the team. I know they brought back Wilson, the linebacker. I mean, these aren't going to be game-changing moves, but hey, man, leave no stone unturned, as they say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is the opportunity. I'll bring anyone to the battlefield that wants to go, man. Let's ride,
Yeah, no, and here's the thing, man. You hear Cowboys fans all too often talk about this team don't go on, this team don't go on, this team don't go all in. So, I mean, if they go out and get Dalvin Cook, we got a problem with that now? We got a problem?
I would say just
trying to go all in?
Let me clarify because they misunderstood what I said. I said all it takes is one slip up from the 49ers in the playoffs. If they lose, we're the next team in line for home field. That's what I said. I understand. Yeah. The 49ers clinch the division. Don't get it twisted. I understand it. I was saying if they have one slip up in the playoffs, that puts us right as the top seed, the highest seed. So anyway. Go ahead, Kelly. I saw him.
I saw that too, and I mean the Cowboys Cowboys. If they end up playing the Niners, Cowboys got to go to Santa Clara to do it. And we got to win a game on the road. Yeah, against a very, very good 49ers team right now that I think many probably have as the favorite to win the NFC. But listen, man, when it comes down to that, here's the thing: every year, your goal is to ultimately win the Super Bowl, right? But before you can accomplish that goal, you want to get into the playoffs, right? To get into the playoffs, you need to win. You want to position yourself and get yourself into a good position. The Cowboys have done exactly that. This will be the 3rd year in a row now after we beat the Washington Commanders. Notice I said after and not if. After we beat the Washington Commanders, 3rd season in a row that we will have won 12 games. 2 out of those 3 years, we will have won the NFC East. So twice in 3 years, we'll have won the NFC East, putting ourselves in a good position. And that's all you can ask for it, because once the playoffs start, it's a whole new season. It's survive in advance. And listen, we have seen crazier things happen. I'm not going to sit there and say, you know what? Ain't no way we can beat San Francisco. There's no way we can do it. Why should we even play the game? Hang my head. No, because this Cowboys team is talented. They are across the board, they're talented. If they get it right and get to playing their best football and they're disciplined and they can limit those penalties, I mean, we've seen teams turn things around in the playoffs, man. I mean, it's countless examples of teams that have went on runs in the playoffs that a lot of people thought that team didn't have a chance, or this team was the favorite. This team should have won. I mean, hell, the Cowboys have been in that position where we've been at the number 1 seed, first round bye, lost the first round. You know, it can happen. So
it can happen.
All I'm saying is all you ask for is a chance. And we have that chance, and we got a pretty damn good chance, and we've got a great position with that number 2 seed on the line as long as we can, handle business on Sunday.
The thing is, you don't need to be the better team. You just need to be the better team that day. That's
right.
why you have upsets. And it could happen to us. We've lived it. In the playoffs, you better be bringing your A game, and you better be going because if you don't, that's what can happen. And more importantly, just real quick, again, if you guys are new to the channel, thank you. Hit that like, subscribe, share. We do have a nice announcement. January 25th, I believe it's a Thursday. We are going to have Tony Thrill Hill, one of the Cowboys legends, top 5 Cowboy receiver all time, retired as the all-time leading receiver. A lot of people always tie Drew Pearson, but I mean, Tony Hill led the team in receiving 9 years in a row of his career. So we're really excited to get him in. Then we got some other surprises. So definitely, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that like, subscribe, and share. And if you've missed any of our interviews with players, check it out. The interesting thing, just to kind of change the subject just for a quick second, there was conversation on the radio today, and it made me think of us, Kelly. And I was like, these guys should be listening to The Cave, and they should understand because they would have found this out already. They were talking about Moose Johnston, and Moose Johnston has put out things that he would like to get involved in as a general manager. He would like to get involved in player personnel and a level and position. And we talked to Moose, before the season we talked about it. This old news if you're in the cave, but just that's what we bring. So I'm just giving us a shameless plug, Kelly.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you guys ain't seen it, go back and watch it, man. We posed the question to Moose about the GM thing, and I believe that's something that's going to come to fruition. It's something that he wants. He's a very sharp individual, but it was a great interview we had with Moose on the Cowboys Cave. We got a lot of great interviews, man, that we have had over the time. Bob Lilly, Moose Johnston, Dave Campo, George Teague. I mean, it goes on and on, guys. So if you guys are new to the channel, you're just now tuning in, you drop by to see what this is all about, you can go to the channel. You should like and subscribe automatically. Go ahead and do that. Hit the like every time you watch the show. Hit that like button. It helps get us, it helps further what we can do for you guys as content creators. But a lot of great interviews you guys can go back and watch. You get bored. You're wanting to get yourself hyped up for the season. You're wanting to go back and see if we said anything stupid that you can hold over our head.
That's happened.
You can do that too, because I promise you, there's some stuff that we've said have been dumb. I guarantee you'll find some things, at least probably on my part, but still. A lot of great content out there for you guys to find with the channel. But yeah, Moose Johnston was a great interview, and I'd love to see him be a GM in a capacity. I would hate it though if he went to a team and then he won a Super Bowl and it wasn't the Cowboys,
that would be
that would eat me up. That would eat me up because I think he would be a great GM.
Yeah,
great GM. Yeah, I really do.
No, I think he would be, and yeah, unfortunately, it'll never happen in Dallas. It'll never happen in Dallas. So it's going to happen somewhere. So let's get into the other concern. And I know it's been a topic is game management, and some of this is obviously it's fallen on McCarthy's shoulders. And I listened to the press conferences, I listened to a lot of the stuff, and the play that sticks in my head. And I wish I would have been sitting next to you Saturday night when Dak threw that pass to Cooks. I think it was in the end zone. It probably could have easily got intercepted, but that's the one that sticks in my head. Is like, why? And Dak came out, said that was his fault. They were zero coverage. He read it and should have definitely. That was one that was sticking with him, and he wished that that's why he was so amped up. If he had 23 seconds, they scored. He said, "We're going to get down there, and I want to make up for what I did." So some of it falls on the quarterback, let's say, unless he's fallen on the sword, which maybe he is. He looks like he'd be that kind of guy anyway, so maybe he is. But game management, I will take it a step further. To me, one of the concerns more than game management is the undisciplined penalties and the untimely penalties, the pre-snap penalties, those kind of things. That's something aside, along with the running game that keeps me up at night as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I mean, undisciplined, unforced mental errors. Those are the ones that eat you up, man, because those are those are things that you think as a team you should have cleaned up.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't be having those. I mean, the best teams and the ones that advance are the ones that don't shoot themselves in the foot, because I mean, I've lost count of how many times that we have converted big third downs or even made a big play on first or second down, only to have it be negated by a penalty. I mean, you know, our offensive line and those holding penalties, man, have been atrocious. But you know, it's the you know, delay of game, or it's the offsides penalties, you know, stuff like that. Those are the kind of things, man, that you just really, you know. And I thought Mike was starting to get that cleaned up, because I felt like at one part of the season we had a stretch where we were playing pretty clean, and it wasn't a horrible game against Detroit. I think we had like 5 penalties for like it was like 57 yards or something like that, but still, it's not great. Cowboys are still one of the most penalized teams in the league, and you need that cleaned up when you're in the playoffs, because teams that commit penalties in the playoffs don't typically stay around too long, man. You want to have a clean game, and you don't want to hurt yourself in the biggest of moments, especially when it's a win or go home situation and scenario.
No, absolutely. And yeah, the penalties, the offside, that was the one, right? 6 in your head. And it was Parsons kind of he mistimed it and kind of did that little jump and ended up in the neutral zone. I forgot about, and I want to give credit where credit's due, to Steve, because I was screaming about it. It was right before halftime. We only had a few seconds left. We had the ball inside our 10, and we're throwing it. You know, if my memory's right, it was right in there. It was like those little things, like, you're not going to do anything. Like, if you want to do a high percentage, something like, I mean, I just think you just kind of take the knee. There's sometimes you just going to go with it. So some of the game management stuff does have me concerned, but I think a lot of what could ail those concerns is a running game, because I'm telling you, just my opinion, I think a lot of the game planning, and you're seeing what's happening in some of these games, is they don't have confidence that they can get a first down with 3 carries running the ball. And if you can't, it's very hard to drain out the clock. You're going to have to do it throwing it. And I know that, you know, Pollard had a nice little run, and then we had that BS phantom tripping call that should have been on the other team, and that would have been game over. And we probably wouldn't be talking about this. Maybe it's not a story, but it's one of those things that you got to they've got to make sure they're tight, because again, the playoffs, the pressure just continues to go on and on. And Crystal, I think Crystal might be a new subscriber. If not, I don't recognize it. So appreciate it if you're checking us out for the first time. If you've been listening quiet and you're commenting, great. If I missed your comment, I apologize. But the thoughts of the team in the playoffs, and we've been kind of talking about it, I feel good. Like, Sunday is a test for me. If this team comes out and does what they need to do and wins a convincing game, I think that's something that they piggyback and they jump springboard into the playoffs. If we get a scenario where we look like crap and it's just an ugly game and an ugly win, or God forbid a loss, we're diehard Cowboys fan. They get a change, but I will have a little spot in my stomach that says, oh man, please don't do this to me again. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's always it's a Cowboys fan, man. It's always in the back. It's always in the back of your head. It is funny, man, because, you know, I get these. You get these people. I get them all the time, man. All these people that are trying to talk about, man, it's been so long since y'all done won a Super Bowl. It's, you know, you guys don't get past the divisional round and blah blah blah, all this stuff. And look, man, I was like, I know, I'm a Cowboys fan. Like, I know, man. Like, do I like it? No, but does it is it completely destroy me? No, because I've kind of gotten used to it. So guess what? I set myself up to be optimistic, to cheer for my team, to root for my team, to be there, ride or die, win or lose. And look, if they win, I'm on cloud 9, man. If they lose, I'm gonna be disappointed. But then, you know what? I'm gonna move on and look to try to find the bright spots and the optimism for next year, man. That's just kind of the way I've grown to be as a fan, because the NFL, it's hard to win a Super Bowl, man. Like, I don't get what people don't know about it. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. I mean, teams just ain't out there just winning Super Bowls, you know, left and right. I mean, if you take the New England Patriots out of the whole thing, I mean, I think I've I think I did the breakdown not too long ago about the last like 25 years since Cowboys lost their last or won their last Super Bowl. I think it's only been like 13 teams, less than half the league is won a Super Bowl. So that means the rest of the rest of the NFL has got just as long a drought as we do, if not longer. So, I mean, 49ers fans, they're out there bumping and yapping their gums. They've got a longer drought than we do. I mean, they still haven't won a Super Bowl. And I will always harken back and say, I don't give a damn about playoff success. Don't tell me about playoffs. Well, they've been the more successful team because they've had more success in the playoffs. That don't mean a damn thing to me. It's a participation trophy. Unless we get the ring on our finger at the end of the season, none of that means shit. And I don't,
it's disappointing. It's a disappointment if you don't win. And that's why I always say with fans, and I get it. You could be, there's kind of those three fans, right? I've said it a million times. I'll say one more. You got fans that are probably going to be like Kelly and I and a lot of you out there that we're die hard. We're going to live and die with this team. We're going to support them no matter what. If you give us the opportunity, we're going to tell you how they're going to win. And it don't matter who we play. We're always going to be confident. You have those other fans that are kind of quiet. They're going to go, if the team is good, they're going to go this way. If the team is bad, they're going to go this way. They're just going to kind of roll with the tide. And then you have the negative ones. You have the ones that are just going to bitch and moan about this team 24/7 because in all likelihood, they're always going to be right because only one team wins a Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, they could say, see, they choked. Oh, see. And I laugh at the choke thing. So the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs, they were underdogs against the 49ers. They were on the road against the Rams. They were underdogs. I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were underdogs at home against Green Bay. So I guess what I'm saying is they've lost to better teams. The only game that Dak Prescott lost in the playoffs that I felt that they should have won was the first 49ers game at home. I thought they should have won that one.
Yeah.
I thought they were a better team, but 49ers came out, and 49ers had their number. So it's, you hear the word, oh, they choke. Oh, they did. No, I mean, they've gotten beat by better teams. The Vikings, the year that Romo was there, Vikings were a better team. Now, the year that you brought up the bad memory of the 1 seed, we were the better team. We beat the Giants twice, but they beat us in the playoffs. And that's what can happen. That's unfortunately with sports. But those negative fans, they can do that, and they're going to be right 90, whatever the chances of winning the Super Bowl, is like 98% of the time they're going to be right because it's hard to win a Super Bowl. Look at the best teams don't win. If as much as it pains me to say it, the best team last year was the Eagles. They were the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. They were the best team in the NFL that season. They lost the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's tough. And one of the thoughts I want to get is our man, our Eagle fan. He said our demise is going to be the run defense. I just got to ask, and I want people in the chat, again, straighten me out if I'm wrong. Our run defense, I looked at it. We're middle of the road. We're not terrible.
It's not that horrible.
We're not.
It's not as bad as people.
We've had a couple bad games where it's really, really looked bad in those losses.
Hankins was out. Yeah. Hankins was out that Buffalo game when they ran all over us.
But, I mean, most of us, if I were to ask you who has a better run defense, the Ravens or the Cowboys, I think everyone would say the Ravens. I think they would. The Ravens are giving up 4.5 yards a carry. Dallas is giving up 4.2, which is kind of middle of the road. So I guess and you know who the best run defense in the NFL is? New England Patriots.
Imagine that. How's that working out for the Patriots?
They average 3.3 yards giving up a carry. I don't look at yards. I look at yards per carry a lot of times of that. The Dolphins, one of the top run defenses. So I'm just saying is I know what people are saying, but I think what happens with the run game is if you start getting, then it just kind of, the floodgates open. But I don't think our run game's terrible. You guys tell me if I'm nuts.
Yeah, no, they haven't been all that bad. They've had a couple of games that have made them that have looked bad. I know that Bills game we didn't have Hankins, and look, that's not an excuse, but he's been one of our best run stoppers, man. But the last couple of games, man, they've actually played pretty good.
I mean, the Lions have a great running game.
Great run game,
and we shut them down pretty good. The Dolphins, great running game. We held them. If you would have told me you hold the Dolphins under 100 yards rushing, I would have bet my house. I would have lost it, but I would have bet it anyway that we win that game, so.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is that, there have only, there's only been a couple of games that we've actually had. And yeah, the Niners do run good schemes across us. They do scheme well against us. It is a team that matches up bad for Dallas. I'll say it. I mean, it's a team that matches up bad for Dallas. But again, they line them up on the field, man. They play for 60 minutes because I guarantee you people had that same thought when the Giants played the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl. Didn't nobody think the Giants stood a chance against them Patriots with Randy Moss and all them dudes hadn't lost a game all year, and the Giants went out and beat them. So listen, I ain't going to sit here and be like, oh, man, ain't no damn way we can beat San Francisco. Ain't no damn way because, like Mike said, the better team don't always win. It's about who's better that day. Yeah. Now, I just wanted to address something real quick because it's something that's been I keep getting it thrown in my face. I keep getting it talked about. I had a guy, the Eagles guy that I work with today told me, and I had to break it down for him. All these people telling Cowboys fans that we can't celebrate winning an NFC East championship because we told the Eagles fans last year that winning the NFC East didn't matter. Let me just clarify that real quick. I never said it didn't matter. I said it only matters at the time, right? Guess what? If we win the NFC East, that matters, right? Yeah. But guess what? Super Bowl, I'm not going to beat my chest next year in September talking about, well, we won the NFC East last year because that don't mean a damn thing. It matters at the time. Winning the NFC East right now, getting the number 2 seed, absolutely matters. And it mattered last year when the Eagles won it and locked up the number 1 seed. It matters. After the fact, if you don't win the Super Bowl, an NFC East championship, an NFC championship, don't mean nothing. You play for the Lombardi trophy. You don't celebrate participation trophies. So for all those Eagles fans that are out there that are saying, oh, I thought we didn't say, y'all said NFC East don't mean, that's not what we said. You're putting words in our mouth and you're trying to twist it to make it seem like we shouldn't celebrate winning the NFC East. I will absolutely celebrate winning the NFC East on Sunday after we beat up Washington. And thank you, Philly, for choking that away.
You do celebrate it. You do celebrate it. And you enjoy it. I mean, it's winning your division. That's the first step in the process. So you got to enjoy that because that's the first goal. That's the first goal. That's right. I want to give Bobby. Of course, I appreciated the Clubber Lang reference in your comment. You ain't putting no Rocky comments past me. I promise you that. You know I'm Italian. That's my Italian stallion. You know, I know you guys worship the fictional character like he's for real. I know it's a movie, so I don't get that crazy about it. But I love me some Rocky Balboa. You better believe it. But I wanted we're going to get into a question or a comment that was put in here, and it's been a hot topic. But I'd be remiss, and Kelly, I apologize for doing this to you, but you just got to kind of deal with it. And, you know, you take your medicine, you accept defeat, you move on. But we got to give Boys in the Zone their due. The very first Cowboys Cave Fantasy Football League. We invited some of our subscribers to come in and friends of the show. So we will open it back up. We are going to allow the champion has to be able to defend his title. Boys in the Zone. You know, I was pulling for Kelly, my man K9, but he took an ass beating. I don't know any other way to put it.
I did, man. You know what though? Listen, I'm not making excuses because this happens. I'm just gonna say, man, losing my starting tight end last week, T.J. Hawkinson, and then Keenan Allen couldn't go, and then they pulled him out. Losing those two, man, those are two big producers for me, man, and having those two go down. But you know what? Congrats to EJ, man. We went up against each other in the regular season. He beat me in the regular season. Okay. He beat me when it mattered. I took second, which is the first loser. Ain't no consolation prizes.
You want a ribbon? Do you want me to help you like with the Eagles? We could get you a ribbon and you could put it up in your.
Yeah, you know, guess what? Guess what you're not going to hear me talking about next year? Well, at least I played in the championship. I made it to the championship. I played in the championship. No, I ain't going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about, you know what? The season was a failure. An absolute failure, and I'm going to come back next year, and I'm going to take it. So for you people in the chat that want to get in on this thing, y'all got to let us know. Let Mike know. We're going to get some people. We're going to bring people from the Cowboys cave back to play some fantasy football. Maybe even an Eagles fan there, Bobby. Maybe you can come.
You know, that might make some fun. It might make a little fun to get, spiced up a little bit. But we're definitely going to bring a new group in, to be fair. We do. And have some fun. And I think that our fantasy football guys, they're the one who started this. They started this. The show on Tuesday, there's talk of them doing a pick'em. If they do it, I said, if you guys do it, a playoff pick'em league, and it'll be on ESPN or CBS. It'll be opened up. We'll give the link. It'll be opened up to all our subscribers. The winner is going to get a prize. We're thinking maybe a Cowboys Cave t-shirt, something like that. So that's free, and you guys can participate. We'll have some fun with that. So that might be the next thing. And if you guys don't watch the boys on Tuesday, they're a crazy group. They're a lot of fun. They've gotten me in trouble on YouTube twice because of the profanity. But what are you going to do? You know, you gotta let them do your thing. But wanted to get into a hot topic. It was asked in here. I always like to give credit. It was brought up by, I don't want to waste too much time, but if you said it, just find it. And I think it might have been Joe, actually, because the picture on his thing looked right. If it is Joe, give you the credit. If not, someone else tell me I got it wrong. Is the 5th seed better for the Cowboys or the 2nd seed? Is it not a bad thing to lose and then go to Tampa, because maybe that might be, everyone's afraid of the Rams, who beat the Giants 26-5 or 26-25, and they beat the Washington Commanders 28-20 recently, and they beat the New Orleans 30-22, and I guess they're playing better and we should be afraid of them and this and that. I mean, do you buy into? And I just can't. And I respect the people that are making the argument, and there's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Some of these people making the argument I consider very good friends, so I have no issues with that. But me personally, you get the highest seed possible, and it's playoff time. You let it roll. But I'll take 2 home playoff games over being a 5th seed any day.
I mean, have you ever in the history of football heard a team saying that they wanted to play for the lower seed?
No. I mean,
Never, not once. Never, not once in the history of football has that happened. Not now, never. That's like Cat Williams. Not now, never. I never heard it. Like, no, what the hell would you want to play for the lower seed? You want to go on the road? You want to go on the road and have to go through the road all the way to the playoffs? No, you want home games. Not only that, do you want home games? This Dallas Cowboys team ain't lost a game at home all year. Not only all year, we ain't lost them since dating back to last year. We have one of the longest, I think it is the longest, home winning streak in the NFL right now, and we're going to get a chance to play 2 games at home. Why the hell would you want to go on the road?
Well, help me understand. The Rams are playing good football. I'm not going to take nothing away from them. I mean, they're winning. They've won, 26-25. They should have lost the game against the Giants. Maybe people's mind would be different. But, I mean, are the Rams that good? I mean, we smacked the hell out of them. Granted, it was the early season, but are they that good that you're afraid of them and you'd rather play on the road 2 times rather than just play them, which you could end up playing them anyway? It doesn't matter. If they're going to beat you, then if we lose to a 7th seed, we don't deserve to be there anyway. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't get that logic. I don't get that line of thinking.
We're scared.
Honestly, I think it was trying to stir something up.
That's what
I think it was trying to stir something up. I think let's just say Tuck. I told Tuck, I mentioned to him, I said, I think you're doing some ski mask stuff over here. You're putting your ski mask on, and he did one of these little deals. So hats off to you, Tuck. I know I ain't playing your mind games, buddy. I know you're playing chess, but I'm playing chess right along with you. Hell no, I don't want no damn 5 seed, man. Give me the 2 seed all day. Give me the home games. Ain't no way. Never in my life have I heard that. Never in my life have I seen a team be like, maybe we should be the 5 seed instead of the 2 seed. In no world is the 5 seed going to be better than the 2 seed. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care.
I'm not afraid of any team.
I don't care.
None of them. I respect all of them. And are you going to say, who don't you want to play? Well, I probably don't want to play the 49ers if I'm being an honest
Niners. That's
fan.
it.
But we've beaten 4 of the outside us, 4 of the 6 playoff teams we've beaten. The only one we haven't beaten is whoever comes out of the South, and I'm pretty sure we'd beat them if we played them. So I'm confident going in the playoffs. But like we talked about earlier, you better be ready to play. I mean, the Rams. Hey, Stafford won a Super Bowl. I'm not going to sit there and say that we're going to dog walk them like we did the first time, but I think I like our chances with our defense against them. I think we match up well against them, and I just and I think our offense can score all over them. And I have no fear of it, and I'll be confident going into it. But I'd much rather be at home. The funny thing is, as you guys know, I live in Tampa, and the hot topic now is all these Cowboy fans they're trying to sell their tickets because everyone assumed they didn't expect the Eagles to do what they did. I did. I didn't buy my tickets. I'm the smart one. I said the Eagles are going to lose one of these games. I'm not buying it until the last minute. And sure enough, a lot of Cowboy fans. So any Eagle fan, Bobby, if you want to come down to Tampa, I know people that are selling their tickets. They're just trying to get their money back. They'll probably end up losing money, but anyway, it's crazy, and it's going to be tough. Some people ask, "Or Kelly, are you going to the game? Mike, are you going to the game?" And I'm in a weird spot because you're playing for 2 home games. I can only go to 1. So I think I'm not going to be able to make the first one because I'd rather go to the second one.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's the divisional round. It's where it's where we're going to make our bones.
Yeah.
And if we win the divisional round, it's on to the NFC Championship. So obviously you would want that. But to go back to your point here about teams in the playoffs right now and in the NFC, my list of teams that I least want to play, same as you, it goes Niners. And then after that, the only other team that I'm scared of is the Dallas Cowboys. And that's because we have the tendency to shoot ourselves in the foot sometimes. But seriously,
true.
I'm not scared of none of these other teams. I'm not scared of the Packers, the Rams, any of the teams in the NFC South. I'm not scared of the Eagles. I think we'd boat race the Eagles. Bring Philly to Dallas. Go ahead and bring Philly to Dallas so we can drop 50 on them bums.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of them. They can't even beat a team with a losing record, let alone come into Dallas and beat us. I'm not scared of Philly. I'm not scared of any team right now. The only team that makes me nervous is the 49ers. And outside of them, it is what it is, man. So yeah, I would love to have the 2 seed. I want the 2 seed. I think we got the 2 seed wrapped up. And yes, let's move on. Let's play who we're gonna play. And somebody in here said to be the best, you got to beat the best. I always like that saying. So yes.
Well, we say Ric Flair style, to be the man. Woo! You got to beat the man. So.
There we go. A little bit of Ric Flair, baby.
But and Joe, if I said that you wanted that, I apologize. I thought I said that someone asked a question about it, but if I wasn't saying that you'd rather have the 5th seed. If I did, I apologize. I'm reading these things.
Yeah, Joe just want to know about what we thought about it.
Yeah. So if I worded it wrong, I apologize. The other thing going on, and I don't know, I'll be honest with you, this is kind of gets lost in kind of the just the way the NFL is now. But I guess they had their Pro Bowl selection tonight. I didn't even know. And I just was messing around and there I saw it. But Cowboys got 7 Pro Bowlers. And I think I only look at the Pro Bowlers selected. I don't look at the end because then no one's, it really doesn't matter. Go ahead, Kelly.
Do you have the names? Because before you announce, can I try to guess the names?
Oh, well, yeah. Go ahead.
Do you have the names?
I know the names.
Okay, you know the names.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't seen this yet,
right.
But I'm gonna guess my 7. I'm gonna say Bland.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
Dak Prescott.
Yep.
Tyler Smith.
No.
He didn't make the Pro Bowl?
No.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Stephon Gilmore.
No.
What? DeMarcus Lawrence.
No, that one surprised me. That one. But I looked at who made it. I was like, all right, you got to pull one guy off. So that was a tough one, but I thought he should have made it.
Okay, so I've got 3 men. Who am I missing here? Micah Parsons, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Micah Parsons, that's 4.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, one's an obvious one.
Ferguson?
No, one's an obvious one you're missing.
Zach Martin.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, Zach Martin. Yeah, right. Zach Martin.
Go ahead.
Okay, and then we got 2 more.
Yeah.
Who are the last 2? I can't.
Aubrey.
Oh,
and our
of course. Anger.
Yeah.
So Tyler Smith
didn't make it. Do you know what Warren Sapp said about Tyler Smith?
What did he say?
He said it's a disgrace that guy who shouldn't even be in the NFL is wearing Larry Allen's uniform. He's one of the worst offensive linemen in the league. That's not a quote, but I'm paraphrasing. But that's basically what he said.
What?
I came across. I thought he was joking. I couldn't believe it. It was with God. I forgot what show he was on. But yeah. So our Pro Bowlers, and real quick for Dustin. Yeah, make no mistake about it. If they win the second round, we get a home championship. Your boy's going to be there if I have to drive there. So that goes without saying. But yeah, I'm limited on.
Hey, swing through Omaha and pick me up if you
I
got to
will
drive.
pick you up if that happens. There's no think about that. We'll do a road trip, man. We'll video that thing. That'll be fun. But
damn right.
But 7 Pro Bowlers. So you said, and it is hard because to put Tank on, you got to take someone off, and I wanted to get the list for you. But one thing I was kind of happy is I think Dak Prescott obviously getting the recognition. I think that's important because he's had a very good season. But if you look at the quarterbacks, you had Purdy, Prescott, Stafford. Your running backs, you had McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Kyron Williams from the Rams, who came on late.
Okay.
That's one of the guys that's putting fear in some of these Cowboy fans. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown are your main guys. Mike Evans and Puka with the Rams. He ended up making it. I thought that was a nice, for a rookie. Usually they get slided a little bit. You had Kittle and Laporta, another rookie, made it. Your tackles with Williams, Lane Johnson, and Sewell. Your guards, so here it is. You got Martin and Lindstrom and Dickerson with the Eagles made it. Could you make an argument that Tyler Smith should be above Dickerson or Lindstrom?
Dickerson, absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
I think that Tyler Smith is the most surprising to me out of all those. Him and then probably DeMarcus Lawrence.
Well, and here's the thing with Tank Lawrence is you got him at an end. You have Nick Bosa, Sweat, and Hutchinson. One of them's got to go, and that's where it becomes. You can only have 3, so one of them you'd have to take one off to put Tank in. And I think Tank's had a phenomenal season. I think he's the backbone of our defense. I think he's the unsung hero of our defense. Yeah. But I'd say the numbers aren't showing for what he's doing. You know what I mean? But those of us who watch the game see the key plays, see what he does, against the run on his side, and see everything that he brings. We all are biased and say that he should be in the Pro Bowl. But I get it. It's hard because you got to take somebody off. So.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. But you
want to handle that one, Kelly? We got a shout out.
I see that. Yeah, today is my wife and her boyfriend's anniversary. I thought, man, all I saw was anniversary, and I'm
like, you know what? I thought maybe because I'm doing a cameo after this. I got an anniversary cameo, so I thought, well, maybe this is the guy wanting it. Maybe that, and that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Well,
shout out,
you're a better man than me. You're a better man than me, Mike. You got the same name, but you're a better man than me. That's funny. That's funny. I love it.
Shout out to your wife and her boyfriend, man. I hope there's a prenup.
I always like the major league part when the batter was telling Jake, the Indian guy, how's your wife and my kids? When he went up to bat. I always like that line.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, yeah, no. Bobby said I can't say the word that he said because I'm not trying to get in trouble on YouTube. But F the individual awards. I want Lombardis. Well, absolutely. I think that's what everybody wants, man. And at the end of the day, I had that question posed to me. They said, would you consider this a less of a season for Dak if he doesn't win the MVP? And I said, I don't give a damn about the MVP. I want the Super Bowl.
I could care less about the MVP. And look, we had a Cowboy team that had 13 Pro Bowlers that got bounced in the first round. So, it just goes to show a lot of these things. That was,
2007.
That was unbelievable.
Hell of a year, man. You want to talk about disappointment. And that's why I say that always the better team doesn't always win, because that Dallas Cowboys team in 2007 was better than that Giants team that beat him. Better than that Giants team.
I'd argue the 2007 Cowboys team was one of the best Cowboy teams roster-wise in their history. But it don't mean nothing if you can't get it done. That's why they'll never be remembered as that. I mean, your backup running back made the Pro Bowl. I mean, with T.O. and Romo and Ware, and you had, the line they had, and it was just, I mean, they were it, man. I think that was Jenkins and Newman, and that was when Jenkins was really good. You had Terrence Newman. I think Hamlin, a safety. Then I'm going back in time trying to think about it, but they had some dogs on that team, and their mind wasn't right, and that's what we're trying to say, man. Your mind better be right because you got no room for error.
Speaking of mine not right, I saw something today. It's a little off topic, but I saw
Yeah.
something today, and the first thing I did, 1 was cringe, 2 was laugh, and 3 say somebody should stop that son of a bitch from doing it. Odell Beckham wants to take his Ravens teammates on a yacht
Oh
to
no.
relax before the playoffs begin. And I said,
do it.
what happened the last time you took your teammates on a damn boat, Odell? Don't do it. Lamar Jackson, put a stop to that. Ravens owner, put a stop to it. Whoever has to put a stop to it, put a stop to it. Look, I'm not a Ravens fan by any stretch of the imagination, but that is the worst idea I've ever heard. Do not get on a boat with Odell Beckham if you want to do anything in the playoffs. That's a for sure one and done for the Ravens if they do that.
Yeah, and I disagree with Mike respectfully. He said the 2000 offensive line was trash. I don't believe it. And again, I'm going back a lot of years, so I got to remember the names. But I think it was Leonard Davis. I think it was I don't know if Flozell was there at that time. I might be going too far back or not far back enough.
I'll look it up real quick.
I can't remember, but I mean they were strong at every level. They had Pro Bowlers at every level. They had great players and all pros at every level. And what were they that year? 13.
Yeah, they had Flozell, Kyle Kosher, Andre Garrard, Leonard Davis, and Mark Colombo. That was actually a pretty.
That was
solid
a good line, man. You're crazy. Davis was a Pro Bowler, all pro type player. Got him from the Cardinals. Colombo was a solid, nasty guy. You had Flozell, the hotel. I mean, he was a monster. Kozer was he was under. I think if my memory, he was like kind of an undersized guy. Who was the other one? The guy
Andre Garrard.
He was
Leonard Davis, and 3 of those players made the Pro Bowl that year.
Yeah, their offensive line wasn't trash.
That offensive line was actually really good. That offensive line was really good. The defense was really good. You're right. We had and we had that was when we had Roy Williams when.
So was it Roy Williams and who?
Roy Williams and Ken Hamlin. Ken Hamlin were the 2 safeties. That was a great team, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that team
was Mike Jenkins. Was it Mike Jenkins and William and Terrence Newman on the?
Our quarterbacks was Jacques Reeves, Terrence Newman.
Yeah.
Jacques Reeves and Terrence Newman.
It wasn't Mike Jenkins. Wasn't a corner. He had to have been.
No, it was says Jacques Reeves. He had 1 interception that year. Yeah, he's not. They don't got Jenkins on here. It was Newman and Reeves as I'm looking at that roster. But yeah, I mean, you had guys. I mean, there was talent all over that team. DeMarcus Ware was a Pro Bowler that year. He had 14 sacks. Like, dude, there was a lot of talent around that team. Romo. You had your
Anthony Henry was. There was some guys on. I know there was some other guy. It wasn't Reeves. Reeves was a guy.
These are just the starters. Obviously, I think you did have. I'm trying to look here at your DBs. You had Keith Davis, Alan Ball, were your backups.
I remember
Courtney Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely had some. They definitely had some talent. That 2017 was loaded with talent, and it still haunts me that these guys have lost. So
yeah.
But yeah.
No, but anyway, that was a trip down memory lane. But more,
it was just real quick.
we need to make our own. This Cowboy team needs to make their own memories. Let's see. Oh, no, let's see. I like Bobby. Bobby, you might have to be in the fantasy football league because I like easy Bobby. I like Bobby. I like fans. We love fans from other teams, and you could talk your smack. Just don't. We have 2 rules in here: never attack our guests. And we'll, never be disrespectful to our guests because that's a quick way to be bounced forever. And don't make fun of us too much. That's all. I mean, you can have fun with us. It's just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I catch a lot of stuff on Twitter, man. So I'm kind of used to it. But I like that. I like to try to keep the comments a a little bit upbeat here.
Yeah.
Don't attack my personal appearance.
But Kelly, I was telling you before, but just tell the audience. So I did a Dak video. Maybe you guys saw it. And then my ending where I made fun of the Eagles. I played that again after they lost. So on Facebook, the one I did at Dak, it's up to 500,000 views. The other one's over 50,000 views. So what happens is there's a process that takes place. Is that you get the love the first couple of days, and then if it spikes up, that's when all the hate just continues to spike. So these people don't understand that they're actually helping us. So I do appreciate the hate, but I sat during the college football playoffs, I sat for hours responding to all of them and just kind of just talking crap. Some I had to delete because I'm thinking, oh shit, maybe I'm being too raunchy or something like that. But I had fun with it. So that's kind of how sometimes you spend your nights. I usually post stuff and never go back, but because I know the hate will come after a day. But I don't know. Do you ever do that, Kelly? You just get bored and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go back in the archives and just respond.
Far too often for me to admit it. It's probably not healthy for my mental to be doing that, but I love to let people know that I am unbothered for it. I mean, unless you come after and make some, start making remarks about my family or my kids or stuff like that, then I'm gonna block you because I'm not gonna deal with that because I'm you swing that low, I'm not gonna try to go lower. I'm just gonna block you. But when people talk about my appearance,
Vanilla Ice, you get that all the time.
They
Eminem, you get all these different.
They get after my goatee and talk about my goatee. I've heard all of that, man. None of that's gonna hurt me. I'm fine with my personal appearance. I have a lot of self-confidence. I'm perfectly fine with that. So I'm not worried about that. You can say all you want about me. It's when they come after my family and start making shit like that. Then I gotta block them because I can't do that. But
yeah. I watched one of them on you, Kelly. I got to say, I was amazed. You had somebody just really zoom in and really break down like the hairs, really broke it down. Like, I mean, you gotta hate you a lot to put that much work into that. I mean, I'm not doing any of that.
I said, man, if you got that much time to screenshot my photo, zoom all the way in on it. And then, I'm like, man, you got way too much time on your hands, buddy. But you know what? I just kept, posting the memes and laughing and saying, hey, man, now you got a picture of me saved in your phone, man. That's gotta be pretty sad for you, man. You got a picture of me saved in your phone. I'm kind of flattered.
I just want to make sure they're not doing nothing to the picture in the phone. That's the only thing.
And you know what? Bobby makes a good point. He said Vanilla Ice is cool. That's what I'll say, man. Yeah. Vanilla Ice is actually a good looking dude. He's got a ton of groupies. So if they're gonna call me a Vanilla Ice, they're like giving me a low key.
Here's the thing, and I don't care. I grew up in Miami, and I don't care what race you are, male or female. I knew not one person. I've never met not one person who didn't have Vanilla Ice to the Extreme cassette tape in their possession, in their car, hitting Ice Ice Baby. I don't care. I don't know, not a one. That was our era, probably maybe a little more mine than yours. I don't know, but that was the era that I grew up in, and everyone loved Vanilla Ice. And I know he got made fun of later, but there was a point where he was at the top.
I mean, listen, I can sing a word of Ice Ice Baby. Right to the T, man. So you ain't got to tell me, man. I was doing the Running Man when that song was coming on, man. I was all up on that Vanilla Ice trend, man. Ain't no shame in my game on that. So.
Well, and I'm disappointed. My brother got me a Christmas present, and I thought it was going to be here today, and it didn't arrive. It's arriving tomorrow, but I was going to wear it on the show. But I'm going to wear it next week. But he got me a Luke Skywalker T-shirt. Old Uncle Luke, the original one. The original one, the Two Live Crew, and the original one.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta let our fan, the people that may not know, you gotta make sure that you let them know it's Two Live Crew and not Luke Skywalker from Star Wars.
Not Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. We're talking about the original Luke Skywalker.
Two Live, there you go.
He got sued over that. He got sued over using Luke Skywalker. He went to
court. I'm sure. I was gonna say, I'm sure he probably did. That was that's a huge franchise, Star Wars. So I'm sure there was probably some issues. They had some issues with that, but.
Yeah. But anyway, so what are you doing for the game? Kelly, what are you guys doing in the chat? We want to get into some predictions. So first, Kelly, where are you watching the game? What are you going to be doing? Give us a score. It's prediction time. More importantly, as we're going through the predictions, make sure you put them in there. But if you haven't hit that like button yet, hit the like button. What are you waiting for? Very important. And also, obviously, subscribe if you're new to the channel. But Kelly, where are you watching the game? And give us your bold prediction and the score. And you guys do the same in the chat.
Yeah, so I'll be watching the game at the Cowboys watch party that they have here with that Cowboys fan club group here in Omaha. They're up at Tanner's.
And your record watching it is very important.
I have when I watched there, they've only lost. they have lost twice, but they've won more than they've lost. So
Okay.
they're 3-2. But
right.
that one loss was the Eagles, the other one was the Bills. But it's not as good as my record when I'm in AT&T Stadium, which is 3-0 this year. I mean,
Very nice. I like it.
Yours as well. I mean, they've won
NFC Championship game. We're gonna have to figure something out because I would never be able to live with myself if I wasn't there. If the opportunity was there for us to be at home. But go ahead.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I'll be watching it there, though. It's a great group of guys, man. Really great group of guys. A lot of there's several of them that have subscribed to the channel, watched the channel. So shout out to any of them that are watching that channel, watching it right now. I hope you guys are. But no. So I'm looking for at this game, man. I'm gonna have the Cowboys dominating this game. I think Dak Prescott is out by the fourth quarter, and we're resting our starters. I don't think this is going to be a game where where it's coming down to the wire by any stretch of the imagination. I think you're going to see this Cowboys offense come alive. Last couple of weeks, we haven't scored the amount of points that we typically have scored. Low-scoring games with the Dolphins, and then also with the Lions. I'm going to see us getting back into the 40 range. I've actually got the Cowboys winning this game 42, and I've got the Redskins, Commanders, my bad, at 17. Still bad habits. So 42-17, Dallas winning this game. My bold prediction is that Dak will exit in the fourth quarter, but he'll have 4 touchdowns before he leaves in the fourth quarter.
I like it.
A 4-touchdown game for Mr. Prescott.
That's good. So I'm going to be watching. I made a decision, talked to my wife. I was like, what are we going to do? And I just thought it'd be really cool. And I had such a good time. And I haven't been able to go back because I've been at so many games. So I hadn't been able to do it. But I'm going to go back to the Tampa Bay Cowboys Nation bar, that the watch party at Henderson's. So if you guys are in Tampa, come check it out. It's going to be a good time. And I'm 1-0 there. I'm 1-0, and we beat the Rams pretty handily there. For just a reminder for those of you guys who are afraid of the Rams, we did beat the hell out of them in AT&T. So I think it's going to be a fun time, and I just thought it'd be cool if Cowboys, when they win, celebrating with the fans would be a great time. My bold prediction. Well, I'll give the score first. I think the score of the game is going to be 34-10. I think Dallas is going to handle it easy. I think the defenses have come out charged up. I think there's going to be some motivation. My bold prediction, and it's been my bold prediction a lot, but I'm going to raise the ante because maybe people are saying, you know what, Mike, you're not being bold enough. They're not listening to you. They do listen to the Cave. It's been proven they listen to the Cave because we've seen quotes that they've used some of our quotes in some of their press conferences. So I know they listen to us. So I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to be a little bit bolder. The running game is going to have over 200 yards. You understand what I'm saying? 200 yards in rushing by this Cowboys offensive line. We're going to get a good feeling going into the playoffs of getting that running game rolling. That's my bold prediction. Cowboys win. Hanging out with Cowboys Nation. Same as you, Kelly. The good vibes are going to be there. I'd love to see everything, all the love. I don't see anyone picking against us. Bobby didn't even pick against us. He's already conceded. He put a concession in, said the Eagles are resting their starters. They know there's no chance you guys possibly are going to lose, so they're going to accept the 5th seed. They're going to accept going to Tampa Bay, and they're good with it. What do you think about that?
That is a bold prediction, my friend. But I tell you what, if we can do it, I am all for it right there. Listen, the main thing is that these Cowboys get the win. That we go ahead and put the proverbial nail in the NFC East coffin, and hoist. Get that that NFC East championship. Get the gear, the hats, and all that good stuff like that. I've made a commitment though, man. Nothing against anybody here. This is just me personally because I've done it in the past. But a couple years ago, I decided I refuse to buy any NFC East championship gear, hats, anything like that until they win a Super Bowl. I'm just not going to do it. Now, if they won the Super Bowl this next year, I'd probably go get my NFC East stuff. We run the East type things that we got, along with Super Bowl gear and all that stuff. But if they don't win it, I don't want it because I don't want to condone. For me personally, I want the title.
No, and do not spend your money getting NFC East championship gear. We don't need that. We got bigger fit. But what you can spend your money on, more importantly, is some Cowboys Cave gear. People ask, we do it. The Cowboys Cave. Well, Kelly's got a live picture. We got the Cowboy Cave shirts coming in 5 different colors. 5 different colors. You guys go to Twisted Gorilla, twistedgorilla.com. You put the code Cowboys Cave in there. You get 15% off everything. They got so many other shirts aside from ours, but make sure you get a couple of ours and definitely check it out. You can do that, and that'd be a beautiful gift for yourself or for your loved one. Nothing better than seeing our faces on a shirt, especially especially if you're going out looking for some ladies. That's going to be a magnet. There's when they see Kelly and Mike on there, that they're going to give you the hookup. Holler if you hear me. You understand what I'm saying? Now most of them. When you said that, I thought you were talking about Scott Steiner. That's what he used. He used that line too back in the day in his promos. But the other thing that we got, we had over 130 new subscribers in the last 7 days. Big thanks to Cowboys Nation. Big thanks for you guys spreading the word. And again, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just supporting the channel, and hopefully we're giving you guys some entertainment on the channel. I've been giving Kelly some kind of pumping him up a little bit. He said he's going to be dropping some, you see me dropping some videos every now and then. Now he said he's going to be dropping some videos, maybe doing some shorts, maybe doing some of that if you guys are good. So you have to hit the alert button. That bell that is on YouTube is important because anytime we drop a video, you get alerted of it. That way you can check it out. So you got 2 things to do. Hit the thumbs up, hit the bell. And if you hadn't subscribed, do it, because when we hit the 3,000 subscriber, we got Tom Landry Funko Pop signed by the man, Mr. Cowboy, who was a guest on our show. We interviewed the Mount Rushmore of Cowboy players. Bob Lilly's on it, Mr. Cowboy. Autograph Funko Pop. It's got a Hall of Fame inscription. It's got his 11 Pro Bowls, 7-time All-Pro, Ring of Honor, Super Bowl champion, whatever else is on there. He loaded it with inscriptions. When we get to the 3,000 subscriber, we're going to have a giveaway like we did for the 2,000 subscriber. And then more importantly, this better not happen before the NFC Championship game. But when we get to 5,000 subscribers, you are going to get 2 tickets. Not any ticket, not standing room only tickets. We're talking about club seats. You see where's it at? Right there. You see the shirt that they give. That's what they give you. You spend some money, they give you this. We're gonna give away 2 seats to a Dallas Cowboy game next season. We'll let you pick from a few different ones. There's some you can't go to because your boy's got to be there. But you'll have an opportunity to go to a game. Now you could take me and I'll go with you as a guest, or you could take Kelly as a guest. Or you could take someone else on the channel as a guest, or you can just bring whoever the hell you want. But we're going to do that giveaway. So make sure if you guys ain't subscribed, you got to spread the word too, because we got a lot of stuff going on here. But Kelly, what did I miss? That was a lot.
I saw Bobby ask if I had a channel. This the channel, Bobby. This is where you find everything on. Mike has been on it with doing the YouTube shorts, and I've got access to do that on the channel. You're gonna start seeing a lot more of that from me. I'm gonna be jumping on. Mike's been doing the mornings, so taking on doing some short videos in the mornings about 10,
Kelly's not a morning
15, 10, yeah, I'm not a morning person. I'm a night guy. I'm a night owl. So I'm actually gonna be throwing on some stuff and doing some things. Try to do it maybe twice a week where I'm coming on at night. Tomorrow I'm actually doing Thursday night trash talk. Gonna come on about 10:30 tomorrow night and do a little talk. So if anybody's out there on the West Coast, obviously I know some of y'all on the East Coast, y'all be in bed already, but gonna do a little bit of trash talking, and it's you'll have to tune in and see what that's all about. But tomorrow night I'll be doing some of that, and then definitely be dropping some YouTube shorts on this Cowboys Cave channel too. So me and Mike keep on growing this thing and getting it bigger. But thanks to all of you that continue to do what you guys do, because without you guys, this thing don't work, this thing don't grow.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate all the love. And yes, we can bust out some Vanilla Ice. Stop, collaborate, and listen. We're gonna keep on doing this thing, baby. So
well, shout out to Blue Star Dallas TV, new here. Thanks for updating Cowboys. Got a new one there, so definitely appreciate.
There we
that.
go.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
And understand, this channel was made. It's not Mike's channel. This ain't Mike Tag's channel. This is Cowboys Cave. This is the fans. This is Kelly. This is Jimmy. This is the fantasy football guys. This is a channel that we developed, all of us developed, to bring some content to you guys, have some fun, bring kick-ass interviews. I think they're kick-ass. I think they're badass interviews for us to get legends of Dallas Cowboy history. And we've had Redskins, and we've had Steelers, and we had no Giants. They haven't come on yet. No, we had Mike Sherrard. Mike Sherrard came on. He was a Cowboy and a Giant.
Mike Sherrard, we had the content
Eagles,
creator,
for some reason, every time I say Cowboys, they hang up on me. So I'd love to get some Eagles on the channel. We had Ian Beckles, who played with the Bucs. We had him on. He was one of my favorite ones. He great personality and great guy. So we bring that kind of stuff to you, and we've got some good interviews. So again, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe, stay tuned, but go back and see the interviews with. I told people, Jimmy Johnson, this was a beautiful weekend, but if you really want to learn about the team of the 90s and you want to get some history, go watch Daryl Moose Johnston interview with Kelly and I, and go watch Dave Campo interview with Kelly and I. And if you want to see why there was some turmoil, go watch the Barry Switzer interview that we did as well. So there's a lot of history. It's timeless that you can go check out, and we do appreciate it. So I got nothing else, Kelly, except I'll leave you with this, but let me just drop this real quick. Hopefully everyone can hear it.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
That never gets old, but I'll give you the final word, Kelly. I appreciate everything from everyone.
No, man, it never gets old. And you know what? I'm spent, man. As I guess as the theme of the show would go, and Vanilla Ice said, "Man, word to your mother."
All right, guys.
Tune in next week, guys. I can't wait to see y'all. And you know what? Next week we'll be tuning in, and you guys will be tuning in as the Dallas Cowboys NFC East champs. So let's get this thing going.
Absolutely, Bobby. This one's for you.
I just want to tell you, I promise you this above all else. I am now going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it, because you'll have no choice. You understand that, Eagles fans? You guys are through. You're finished. You watched.